Hey, Acquisto Real Estate family, and all of those who are joining us this morning for TNT. I wanted to actually take a quick little poll, and those of our real estate family that are not on today can email me, or anybody who would like to email me, feel free to. I wanted to see for my updates, what would you guys think about them moving to Tuesday mornings? And that way I could make sure that our contracts and closings that are turned in from Monday through Sunday without it being turned in really quick on Monday mornings. And that way we can make sure everybody gets everything in. If they get it in at the 11:59 p.m., it still gets in. So what do you guys think about my updates moving from Mondays to Tuesdays so we can make sure we do get the full week on there every week? Let me know your thoughts on that. So let's talk about the great week we had last week from Monday, May 31st through Sunday, June 6th. We had 2 contracts turned in last week. One was Mike Shepard's and one was Rachel's. So congratulations, you guys. And then we had 6 closings last week. Those were one belonged to Hannah, one belonged to Katy, one belonged to Shana, one belonged to Amy, one belonged to Susan, and one belonged to Heather. So congratulations, you guys, for how hard you worked. I know everybody is still working so hard. I still see contracts coming in and out, offers being made, DocuSigns going back and forth. So no, I'm always here to help you with anything you need, and let me know your thoughts about the updates potentially moving to Tuesday. Have a great week.
Hey, happy Monday, y'all. I am here with you to fill in Mike and Shauna's shoes and recap what we have for this week's edition of Merch Store Monday. So for those unfamiliar of what Merch Store Monday is all about, at Acquisto Real Estate, each of our agents have developed their own personal brand, and we are here to help you highlight that brand. And we developed different items within here. If you see something that may not be customized already to your brand, just give us a shout, send Anna an email and let us know, and we can definitely customize something to you and your brand. For example, the Not Your Granny's Fanny Pack, right? That would be one opportunity there. But we have 3 new items to show off this week, and let's scroll down and find those in the merch store. Oh, there's Hannah socks. That's not the one for this week. So for this week, we have the Acquisto Real Estate backpack. I know school just got out, but I already bought backpacks for my kids for the next school year. So it's never too early to start thinking about that and branding your little real estate assistants with their very own backpack. The next item we have is our hashtag TNT Tuesday drawstring backpack. That's always a good one to take your beach towels down to the pool in. And then our recently named Badass Award winner, Amy Gasperini, already has a customized bag to show off. And I'm sure if she takes that over to some listing appointments, she would definitely walk out with the listing. So there you have it, folks. That's all we have in here for Merch Store Monday.
Hey everyone, it's Stacey, Hendren, Client Coordinator with Acquisto Real Estate. And I was doing some thinking this weekend about one of the topics Mike had brought up last week during TNT, and that's how are we all saving and using our time efficiently during this busy season. I know that all of us are working super hard and trying to make sure that we are everywhere we need to be. At the times we need to be there for our families, our clients, for whatever's needed. So what I wanted to do was share with you guys my top 5 favorite kitchen gadgets that save me time and probably a little bit of money in the long run. So let's bring those up for you. Okay, so the first one is the Vitamix. We have personally had our Vitamix for about 5 or 6 years now, and I love it. For quick purposes, when my kids are hungry and I don't have anything to make, I will make them a protein shake, and it goes in there, and we can put all sorts of vegetables in there like spinach, and they never notice it's in there because it does such a great job blending it up. I have personally made queso in our Vitamix. I have made salsa. My mom even wanted some sort of birthday dessert made in the Vitamix. She eats a whole foods plant-based diet, and so it was one that was made in the Vitamix and then cooked in the oven, and it turned out great. So I personally cannot say enough good things about the Vitamix. Now, my number 4 pick for kitchen gadgets is the air fryer. I know that a lot of people have air fryers. I love ours. We make a lot of breakfasts in them. We make a lot of dinners in them. It's just super easy to use when you're cooking various things. We've cut up potatoes and made French fries, or sweet potatoes and made sweet potato fries. Chicken drummies go in there well. We've made muffins in there. We've made all sorts of things in here, and it doesn't heat up the kitchen, and it takes far less time to cook than sticking something in the oven. So I really do love our air fryer. My number 3 is the Instant Pot. So truth be told, when I bought my Instant Pot a few years ago, I was scared to death of it. I think I bought it because everybody had been talking about how great Instant Pots were. And I bought one, and I read all the directions, and I was so afraid I was going to blow up the kitchen when I used it, that I was going to do something wrong, and I was just frightened. But I found the 6 sisters who make recipes, and one of them is the Instapot Queen, I think, and she walks through the Instapot, how to use it, and just has these simple reminders, and oh my gosh, so I love the Instant Pot. And you can make all sorts of things in there, and it's fast. You guys, you can make ribs in like 30 to 35 minutes, and then you just finish them off in the oven. We make all sorts of good stuff. My Instant Pot, which I think most of them do this, is a crock pot also. So it's really easy, and I was able to get rid of one other item in our kitchen. We have a dog that refuses to eat dry dog food, wet dog food, medical grade dog food. So we make her sweet potatoes, rice, chicken, and green beans and peas. And usually I'll make them in the Instant Pot because it's so much faster than trying to do it any other way. So I batch cook that for her. So again, Instant Pot. Now, my number 2 is our food saver. So we use this a lot when we go to Costco, Sam's, or anywhere we can buy anything in bulk, or if a grocery store has something on sale, and I buy a lot of it, we use our food saver to portion it and then put it into the freezer. So this saves time because everything's pre-portioned out. It's ready to go. It makes it just so much easier when we know exactly what we're doing and what we're cooking. My number 1 favorite thing that this really surprises me in the long run that this is my favorite, but thinking about it, it is our sous vide. Now, as you can see, we purchased ours in December of 2018. It was actually a Christmas present from my husband to me, and I was not very convinced that this was something I would want to use in the long run. It blows my mind how great it is. So there's an app that goes on your phone that links to this. And what it does is you can set whatever meat you have, chicken, beef, lamb, whatever it is, you can set all of it. And you set the temperature you want it to. And you put it in your food saver bag. You put all your spices or whatever you want in there. You seal it up. And then, guys, it takes a water bath. And it tells you exactly when it's done. It cooks in the water bath to the perfect temperature every time. And then when it's done, you can take it out and you can sear it. You can either sear it over the stove, or you can put it in the oven on broil and crisp it up. You could even use your Instant Pot and do it in there. But this is a lifesaver because it is literally put it in the water bath and forget about it until it's done. And I mean, on these busy days, that's what makes it so much easier for everything. So I hope that this helps give you guys some great ideas. Quick, easy family dinners are always the best, in my opinion. It makes life so much easier when you have sort of a plan. And, I hope everybody has a great day. And if you have any questions about my favorite things, let me know.
Hey everyone, today's topic that I'm going to cover is home building during a pandemic. And I felt that this was a relevant topic as you work with your clients, whether they're buying a lot and building something or working at a new home construction site with a builder. So last year, beginning in March, we decided to start a house hunt, and we never lucked out in finding a pre-built home being listed on the market that fit our needs. So we did round 2 of building because we had just built about 4 years previous to that. And looking back on it, I kind of wish the same thing I had done or had wanted to do the first time in writing a journal or starting a blog, because there's so much that goes into it, and every decision that you make along the way ultimately affects how it turns out in the end, right? So first off, building a home takes a lot of time. Yes, you can buy new construction and go to the Builder's Design Center and pick out all the easy things, and everything's kind of done for you and you get the enjoyment of a new build. But there's also a custom build where you kind of start from the ground up, which is what I have done twice now. The second time, not necessarily by choice, but it just was what we wanted to do in the end. So we did a custom build and identified a lot to build on. It actually took 3 tries because the first lot we identified and put an offer in, somebody came in at the last minute and put in an all cash offer, quick close, and so we missed out. The second lot we put in, the seller didn't want to negotiate really, and so we decided we would walk away. And we went and found a third lot that we had kind of written off because we never really drove onto it and looked around. And it ended up that was one of our favorites. So that was what was purchased, and then the real work began. So with the custom build, we did the floor plan ourselves, just like we had done with our first build. And we had basically taken the layout of our first build and made alterations and changes based upon what we had discovered living in our first home, what we would change. So more closet space, more storage space, separate rooms for our children, all sorts of different things. And we also had to design it in a way that matched what our HOA required. So that was another thing to add into it. So all along the way, there were so many choices, and it seemed like each day there were choices to be made, and I'd kind of have a list running in my head and chasing down my husband saying, hey, we need to decide this, this, and this, and the builder asking us, have you made a decision on this? Or it kind of became a running joke with our builder that we had 24 hours to make a decision, or an hour. And that's always hard, especially when you're balancing work and life, and somebody's at your home trying to do the masonry work, and you need to make a decision on how you want the rocks laid out, little things like that, that would come up, and you didn't want to have the sub leave to go to another job while you worked on making a decision. So I am a self-professed Pinterest junkie. I actually have a home board that I'd started long ago when we built our first home. So a lot of my design inspiration comes from that, and also other online resources like House. Luckily for me, my husband and I have very similar taste for the most part. So we had kind of our ideas and what we wanted, and we are pretty good at compromising if one of us likes something and the other doesn't. So there were a couple of things that took place along the way. that didn't turn out as we expected. The first was a DIY idea that we had, and that was doing corrugated metal in our home as an accent to our fireplace. And so we had found a barn that the people didn't want the galvanized metal anymore on. And so we took that, and our builder and his crew decided that they would put a clear coat on it just to protect it. And in doing so, which is what most people would do, we discovered that it turned more like it had been in a fire. So we went back to the drawing board, and that took a few weeks to figure out what we were going to do. And we ended up with purchasing new metal, but it was metal that actually can naturally rust if it is left outside in the elements, or you can speed up that process by making up a special mixture. So there were numerous days spent in our garage with metal out on sawhorses and spraying the special concoction on it until we achieved the look that we wanted. Because it was COVID time, it was hard to meet with a lot of the different service providers for the home. Anyone from the building material provider to the gutter person, all that was difficult because nobody really knew what was going on, and you had to wear masks or places were closed or by appointment only. And living in a smaller town, we weren't able to also take advantage of the big city to go look at different building materials. So a lot of our products were sourced online and not even seen in person. One such example is appliances. So as you may or may not know, there's been an appliance shortage. And so in searching for appliances for our home, we obviously wanted a matched set, which was virtually impossible. And so luckily we were able to secure some through Wayfair, but we bought all of our appliances sight unseen, and they were shipped with fingers crossed that they would ship on time and not get damaged in the shipment process. So they arrived. They were stored for a number of months until we were ready to have them placed in the home. And once they were placed in the home, most turned out well, but the refrigerator turned out a little bit smaller than I had expected. So just little differences on, what you're able to see in person versus buying online. Same thing goes for light fixtures. Each of our light fixtures were purchased online, and some came in and we liked them, others we weren't as much of a fan on. So just little things to think about. It's always different once you get things into the actual setting and view them. We also had another issue with getting a garage door. Some of our garage doors came and we were missing one. So it kind of became the case of a missing garage door and a running joke between ourselves and our builder of when the missing garage door was going to appear. And I think it ended up taking 2 to 3 months before the garage door that was missing finally came. So luckily now we have all of our garage doors in place. Flooring was also something that took a lot of time to figure out because we wanted something that would be both kid friendly and pet friendly and also available. So that was always an interesting process, trying to shop around for the best deal and the best product while not being able to go everywhere in person or looking at different sites and ordering different samples from those sites like Lumber Liquidators. Another thing that we encountered was paint colors. So I did a lot of research online for the top, annual paint colors of 2020 or 2021, and ended up kind of becoming best friends with the local paint store because I was always down there trying to figure out what color we wanted for the interior of our home. So when it all boiled down to it, I think I went through at least 10 different sample colors. We had sample boards everywhere. A lot of the colors that were chosen were trying to be a mix between kind of gray, tan, and a green color. A lot of them did not turn out as expected. And in the end, I got outnumbered and we went back to our paint color we had used in our previous home, which we still like and are glad that we went with. So there were delays that took place due to materials taking longer, subs that had gotten sick or had other things going on, weather. And anytime that whether you build a house or buy an existing house, there's always the must-haves and nice-to-haves, and looking back on it, like what you would change now. So when we had built our first home, there was really only one thing that I would have probably changed with it for the most part. And now in our new home, there's not that much that I would change about it either. So even after living in the new home for a number of months, there's still things being finalized and still subs coming in and out occasionally as we still get through everything, because everybody has different schedules and builders are super busy right now across most of the country. So that's what we've encountered. So in all, it turned out, and we love our home, but just something to think about as you're out there working with clients, or if you're thinking about building a home, based upon my experiences.